Hello everybody, today I have another video for you all. Hooray. Today I thought I could talk more about some of my original characters I've created. This character in front of you is Trainwreck. I've shown him off before on the channel a few times, and he's basically part of this whole storyline that I've created called the Mecca Guardians. I've already explained a lot about it, and it's kind of a big story, so if you want to hear more about it, just go check out some of my other videos talking about it. Basically, all you need to know about this character is that he's the leader of a team called the Terabot Express. They're kind of like a group of thugs that are all kind of train themed, and they can all turn into different train vehicles. What ended up happening is that I kind of forgot about all my old characters and eventually took them all apart. And so today I thought that I can start to continue to rebuild some of my other characters, which is what this video is about today. So this little character in front of you, his name is Loudmouth. And as you can see, he is a kind of cement mixer car. Originally, his original design, it was just straight up a cement mixer on like a flatbed. But this time I've redesigned it to be more of a construction car that has a bunch of different tools and equipment. My original design was like, hey, why not create a cement mixer robot that turns into a train car? And it looks pretty nice, and I feel like it blends in a lot better than my original design because it actually feels like some sort of industrial equipment, especially it being all orange and stuff like that. It looks like industrial equipment. So as you can see on the front, we got like these little kind of, I like to think of these as little barrier type things or blockers, and they can come off and like that. Yeah, they just sit neatly on there. Then this is like a cone right here. There's really nowhere else to put it, so it kind of just sits on the edge, but I like to think it's almost like a bunch of junk that's kind of overflowing the kind of capacity of the little car, so it kind of just is spilling over a little bit. The main course in the middle being the cement mixer. My original design, it was open and hollow on the inside, but I changed this piece to gray, and it's not the same piece anymore, so it's not hollow anymore. It's got this little turning wheel on the side, nice and cool. And you can actually pull these pieces out. These are kind of like stoppers that hold the cement mixer in place, and then afterwards you can rotate it around and like position it and make it dump, stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool, simple. And then bringing in train rack over here. You just connect nice and neatly like that, and it kind of looks cool. It has like a very industrial construction feel with like the crane car and then a little cement car. Now, in order to transform him, my original design of Loudmouth, it literally, you just fold the eyes out. You just fold the face out, and then he was in robot mode. But this one, it's a lot more detailed. And it is kind of a parts former, but I don't really care. So first what you want to do is remove all the accessories, including the top of this cement mixer. And then you're going to want to fold the side bits out. Next, take the base of the cement mixer and fold it until it like stops like that. Then rotate it 180 degrees and fold this bit up. Then kind of wiggle it like this until it kind of sits flat like that. And fold these two front little bits up like that. There's the head. Then you come down here, fold these two things out, and then rotate them forward. And then you take the two kind of barrier things and you connect them on the bottom like that. And then take this, fold these out, and then you collapse this like this. And then final touches, you add this to the back, add this to the front. So if you've seen my original video talking about the Terabot Express, you might notice that Loudmouth looks completely different. And if you haven't, I'll just explain what I'm talking about. So when I originally created the Terabot Express, almost all of their designs were exactly the same. It was literally just base plate with train wheels and then the top half of a robot that would fold away and then look vaguely like a train car. None of them really looked that good except for Trainwreck, who was the first one I designed. And even at that, Trainwreck looked weird until I redesigned him here. And Trainwreck makes the most sense because he's literally half a train car. All the other ones, it was literally just the top half of a robot just connected to a train base plate. And Loudmouth was the least weirdest out of them all. He was the least bad out of them all. And it kind of made sense for him because he was literally, his entire body was just the cement mixer head. His original design, it was literally just the car, and then his head just sat on top. As you can see here, I redesigned him to have legs and proper arms. He did kind of have arms, but they're more just like sticks that kind of jutted out from the sides. I'd like to think of him as a heavy weapons member of the team, and basically he can turn into a giant laser cannon that just shoots massive lasers. And I'd like to think that his backstory is that he was originally like a soldier in war, and he used to look normal. Like he used to have like a head and a body and stuff, and like he used to be more of a normal proportioned bot. And then eventually he got like blown up, and it kind of mutilated him a little bit, causing his face to look now like a cement mixer. Like I'd like to think that originally this was like his chest or something, and like what he would do, he would turn into a giant laser cannon. And then he got blown up like halfway through being transformed, and it just kind of caused his head to turn into the laser cannon. Another kind of character trait that I like to think he has is that he, despite his name being Loudmouth, since he's kind of mutilated, he can't talk, he's mute. So, yeah, I mean, admittedly, it would probably be very hard to talk when your mouth is a laser cannon. But speaking of that laser cannon, you can actually turn him into a laser cannon. You basically just have to turn him back into vehicle mode, so just a minute. So once we have him transformed back into his vehicle mode, in order to turn him into his laser cannon, first what you want to do is take this, rotate it around like as if you're transforming it into his head, then click it up by one. Then kind of pivot this upward, just kind of halfway, like kind of at a 30-degree angle. And then take the original cement mixer, place it back, and then take the cone and put it on there. And then there we have the laser cannon done. And it's a pretty cool laser cannon. You can fold these back if you want to kind of hold the laser cannon in place. And also the laser cannon can kind of rest in between those two. Kind of designed it like that. Accidentally, but also intentionally. Loudmouth is supposed to be like the heavy weapon of the team. Like he's literally a weapon. He's not like the heavily armored up one. He's literally just a weapon. And I also like to think that everyone kind of treats him like an object and kind of pushes him around. And a funny joke, common joke that happens is that everyone's telling him to shut up even though he can't talk. So it's literally, he can't even say anything, and yet people are still trying to shush him. It can rotate all the way around and then even point up and even a little bit down the way it's clicked up slightly, connecting it to the back of Trainwreck here. Looks pretty good. And one thing I want to do is that my original design of the Terabot Express, they literally only had their robot mode and their train car mode. And so one thing I want to do when I redesign them all is I want to give them all like different attack modes. Like here, Loudmouth, his attack mode is basically just the laser cannon, and like as they're driving, he just like turns and like pew, 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 something like that. Trainwreck doesn't really have a proper like attack mode, but I like to think that since he's the leader, he's kind of more so commanding everyone else. And his attack mode is basically just his robot mode because he's still half a train car and can function normally. But as I plan with all my other characters, I plan for them to actually transform into actual robots and not just be train cars with robots on them. I might make like a couple exceptions, but for the most part, I don't want this to be the outcome because it kind of gets unoriginal. And like this guy, I feel like he's a major improvement on what was once a fairly minimalistic design. I am a lot more proud of his new design, and I feel like I managed to capture a lot more of what I was originally going for than when I originally designed him. And even though it's not the cleanest or perfect uh, train mode, I feel like I did a better job at making it look like he doesn't actually transform, and a lot of the weird objects and things that are on him you can easily just pass up as, oh, that's just an industrial thing, so it's probably used for something. Like these weird things that fold down for his legs, you can probably just pass. You can pass these off as little hazard lights or even little stoppers that I've yet to test it on the rails, but that probably would work pretty good at stopping it. Although I doubt that rail stoppers for any sort of train would look like that. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and subscribe. And it wasn't too long of a video, just a simple video talking about one of my characters. I plan to do more videos talking about my Terabot Express, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to do next, but it's probably going to be one of the smaller characters like this guy, kind of work my way up to redesigning some of the bigger guys. But yeah, until next time, bye-bye.